Hi, I'm Akanksha and this is my project Making Earth. It is a replayable simulation that teaches home waste composting. Here in the US, one-third of the waste that is sent to the landfill is actually food products, most of which can be easily composted at home. Composting thus becomes a great way to tackle the ever-growing waste problem at its source and reduce the load on the environment. Even though the process is pretty simple, it can seem daunting at first. There are several online resources that attempt to explain it through text or images. But waste composting being a practical skill, text instructions can get hard to follow and remember. And trial and error can sometimes lead to uncomfortable consequences like bad odor or breeding critters. Which is why I created Making Earth. In this simulation, I am first shown brief instructions on how to play the game. First add kitchen waste, then add sawdust. The goal of the game is to maintain optimum moisture in the compost for 8 weeks. In the interface, some waste is randomly generated every week. The rough moisture content of each waste item is shown. Also is given an unlimited supply of sawdust and water spray. Every week, the weather is randomly generated, which also affects the moisture. It can be either sunny and dry or rainy and cloudy. So first I add waste, then I add sawdust. At the end of each turn, the game shows a report about the moisture of the added compost and the effect of weather on the moisture. If the compost is either too dry or too wet, it is a sign of problem. In this case, it's become dry. So let's fix this. This week, the weather is dry again and there is both dry and wet waste. Let us say I choose to add only the wet waste items and add some water to counteract the dryness. This time, when I click on next turn, it shows me a message that the waste that I did not compost gets added to the landfill, and I can only do this for a total of 5 items in the game. I click OK. Then I'm shown a weekly report. The moisture content is now optimum, so I continue to play the game. If all goes well for 8 weeks, I end the game with successful compost. However, if at any point the compost is too wet or too dry, for 2 consecutive turns, the game gets over before 8 weeks with either raccoons attacking the pile when it's too dry or the pile being taken away due to bad odor in case it's too wet. If I throw more than 5 units of waste to the landfill, the game is also over, stating that I did not take it seriously. In this first version of the game, I have only included the moisture as a central parameter around which the gameplay is based and which the interactor has to balance. In the next iteration, I want to introduce raking, which is also an essential part of the composting process.